Yesterday I reviewed the updated Indy 3 2024 Miata. If you missed that review, go ahead and check that out. I conveyed pretty well that that car is just a smile-inducing machine. And in that review, I talk about how strange it is that no one's been able to copy Mazda's formula. I don't know, it came out when I was born, the Miata, so late 80s. No one's been able to replicate it, at least not with continued success. Pontiac Solstice and the Saturn Sky, those were pretty cool. Tried to use that formula. It didn't last very long for them. I made a video maybe about a year or two ago on the SFR. This was a concept at the Tokyo Auto Show, now called the Japan Mobility Show. But in 2015, Toyota had their own Miata competitor, and it's been crickets until now. Apparently, Toyota's been given the green light to produce the SFR, which is a Miata fighter. Guys, grab your snacks and drinks, buckle in, and let's go. All right, we're going to go through the scans first, at least in the original design. It hasn't changed that much, to be honest, from the concept in 2015. That's all that we have to base off of, unless Best Car, which we're taking this from Best Car, unless Best Car has actually seen some prototypes, which I feel like sometimes they do. What do I think about this? Well, I think it's cool. It's going to be small. It'll be smaller than the GR86. And they're saying it's a 2+2. Maybe for insurance purposes, they do it like that. Also, they mentioned that the Starlet is coming back mainly for rally homologation, seemingly. That would be amazing. Don't think it would come to the United States, but they're using a new engine for this Starlet in theory, a 1.3 turbo, and that's what would go into this SFR. You can see up in the top left, this is the original concept with this rounded gaping mouth. That is similar to what we see with Mini cars, or not actual K cars, but the brand Mini from Britain. The grille looks a lot better here in Best Car's renderings, and the headlight's been changed a little bit. It's not that much different. Now this car right here, this is the Daihatsu Coupe. Now Daihatsu's in a world of trouble right now. They've pretty much had to re-envision their brand, and they're going to have to redo a lot of their ideas because of the safety regulation cheating they've been doing for I don't know how long at this point. But I saw this vehicle when I was at the Japan Mobility Show, and it stole my heart. It felt like a different flavor of Miata when I was there. I'm like, man, I want this car to come to America. Now it might, not as the Daihatsu, even though you guys might like this more cutesy design, but it could come as the SFR. Now, apparently Toyota could be working with Daihatsu and Suzuki on this. Now, Suzuki, they left America a long time ago. They're supposed to have 3 different flavors, 3 different stylings. So this Daihatsu Coupe could be the exact same cars as SFR, and Suzuki would have their own variant as well. On Google Translate here on the cover, well, this is the cover, but this is the next page on the inside. They're saying world's smallest class FR Sports. I would assume it would be in the same class as the Miata. FR is front engine. It is rear wheel drive. Now, they're saying it will be mid-engine, so the engine will actually be sitting between the front axle and the A-pillar here, so somewhere in this area. And it will be longitudinally mounted. That's why you have the rear-wheel drive platform here. And they're saying this 1.3 3-cylinder turbo is a smaller, they don't say exactly why it's smaller. Could be de-stroked or de-bored. I would assume lesser bore on it. I'm going to try not to get confused too much. Back in 2012 when the 8.6 came out, it was a Scion. That was called the FRS. This is called the SFR. But anyways, the FRS/86 in 2012 when it came out as a Scion, at least in our market. In Japan, it was always the 8.6. But they're saying Toyota's plan at that time was to bring out 3 types of front-engine rear-wheel drive coupes: large, medium, and small. The GR Supra was the large. The GR86, or the 8.6 at the time, was the medium. And there was no small variant. But they're saying development has resurfaced here for the smallest sports car. They're saying mass-produced FR cars in the AB segment, so the really, really small segments, they're very rare worldwide, and this will make this vehicle, in theory, very valuable. All right, so they have some expected dimensions here, and this is probably based off the concept, but they're saying overall length is 4,000 millimeters. That's right in queue with the MX-5. They're saying it's 1,700 millimeters wide. just a little bit wider than the MX-5. They're saying it could be as wide as 1750 millimeters, which is getting close. It's actually a little bit closer in width of the GR86 than it is the Miata in that regard. But it is still smaller than the 86, of course, and the BRZ. They talk more about the Suzuki and Daihatsu partnership. They say that the interior is going to be the same on every car, but the exterior is going to have different styling. But those reports came back in maybe 2022. They say it's been 3 years. This is something that Google Translate really struggles with, is with years in the conversion. But anyways, it was a few years back when they said that this project was in the works, but it got put on the back burner in theory because of Daihatsu's issues. But now they have confirmed that even despite Daihatsu in a really crappy position right now due to their own terrible management, but they're saying that the joint project between the three companies is still ongoing. And Suzuki could return the Cappuccino as well. I'll go ahead and put images of that on the screen for you. That would be their variant of this model. We have some additional info about wheelbase, the height as well, vehicle weight, about 2,300 pounds, something like that. Yeah, 2,160 pounds. They're going to try to make this as MX-5 as possible, except we have an inline 3 turbo. This turbo has 150 PS. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, and 22.5 kilogram meters of torque. That is 162 pound-feet of torque. The Miata has 151. Now, 162 pound-feet of torque, that can, when it's turbocharged, it can come at a much lower RPM than the MX-5s. Now, 150, if we go back to the scan here, 150 horsepower, that is unacceptable. We know Toyota's horsepower per liter divided by 1.6, it's 187 horsepower per liter. So let's use that times 1.3. We should be getting 243 horsepower here. So this could be the power output for the Japanese market, as low as 150 PS, which is a little bit more than 100, and it's probably like 148, 149 horsepower, something like that. It's capable based off of Toyota's power density on their 1.6 turbo. They could get 240 horsepower out of this. So don't be surprised if you see different tunes of this engine depending on the market. And guys, maybe 200 horsepower is what they want to settle on. I think that would be perfectly acceptable. And that's something Miata owners and fans have been waiting for a while, to have a little bit more power. This vehicle would absolutely do that. And then the torque would also be boosted to over 200 pound-feet as well. Expected arrival in 2026 to 2027. We're not that far away. Expected price 3.5 million yen. It's not even worth converting that to the US dollars because cars cost, it's not a straight conversion from what they actually cost in Japan to what they actually cost here stateside. 30 to 35, they got to price it just like the Miata. So anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000, somewhere around there is where they would price this thing as a direct competitor. Surprising to me, Toyota's not working with Mazda for the next gen Miata. They could have twins. I don't know why they're not doing it, but they could. I mean, they have other resources through Suzuki and Daihatsu to be able to make this vehicle. And maybe this is something that Akio Toyoda wanted to work on before he left to have a true competitor to Mazda. But Toyota owns about 5% of the Mazda. You think that they could have collaborated and it would have been fantastic, but maybe Mazda's like, no, we don't want anyone collaborating with our Miata. That is ours. So maybe that's when Toyota said, I totally get it. We're going to go our own way. Will this come to America? Who knows? It's got to pass safety regulations as well as emissions regulations. So it's hard to say. If it doesn't come to America, it's a big miss because the MX-5 is the best car for the money on the market, as I showed in my review yesterday. And this vehicle, even if it's just like 90% as good, it's still going to bring competition to the market, which is a beautiful thing. So anyways, I'm excited for this car. I don't want to get my hopes up because, of course, I want more Miata-like cars on the market, but I don't want to get my hopes up. But the SFR could be coming. I don't think, who knows what Toyota would actually call it. SFR would probably work, but let me know what you would want it to be called down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you made it this far, I appreciate you. Smash the like button and have a great day. Peace.